go somewhere else. Very excited. I've been in the military for 12 and a half years. I grew up in California. I lived in Texas, Germany, Hawaii, Louisiana, and now here in Virginia, and then hopefully North Carolina next, but I'm waiting to find that out. Presentations, I know, are typically boring because you just get talked at, you get some kind of PowerPoint and slideshow, and it's like, okay, when is this guy going to be done talking? I don't like to do that. I like to try and be engaged and have y'all be engaged as much as possible. So we're going to have more of a conversation. This isn't just why you should join the military or the military is the only option. Obviously not. Not everybody's going to join the military. There is typically less than 1% of the U.S. population actually joins the military. There is a reason for that. There is the want, there's the patriotism, there's the people that want to go to school, there's people that want a career, and then most of the time there's people that's not qualified. So even if this is something that may interest you, you may not be qualified. So just keep that in mind. There is a application process. So if your whole plan, you have 6 plans, and your last backup, your fallback plan is to join the military, keep in mind, you may not qualify for it. So we like to say use the military as a step stool to get started, as opposed to your fallback plan if life doesn't work out for you. All this is an opportunity for you to hear information about what we have to offer so you can make a well-informed decision about what you want to do with your life. Fair enough? Can I get one volunteer just to help me out for just a second? We're not role-playing, I'm just going to have you type some stuff for me. One volunteer, doesn't matter.
Get extra points for me.
Anybody.
Look at him jumping.
You're just typing. We're not going to have a conversation. I just need you to type for me.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
I'll do it.
All right, awesome. I don't bite, I
You should
promise.
get an A.
Oh, thanks.
Almost fell over.
Really good job,
You
guys.
can do anything
I
you
probably
set your
typed
mind.
slow though. That was my best
All right, fair enough.
for this.
Okay, so when I say military, or when you hear military, what comes to mind? If I just say military, what comes to mind? Anything.
Leaving your family.
Leaving family. Okay.
Am I right in
Yep,
this?
leaving family.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
Fighting for our country.
Fighting for our country.
Depression.
Depression. That's the internet, but all right, fair
Am I
enough.
right in that?
Yep, depression. All right, what else?
Hard work.
Hard work. Okay, hard work.
Paid for by the government.
Paid for by the government? Like what? Getting paid by the government? Okay.
PAID.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. This is not English class right now.
I mean, this is your last semester. Like,
Don't worry.
you're fine.
I'm the only one that volunteered.
Okay. What else?
Uniform.
Uniform.
Is that spelled right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What else?
Boot camp.
Boot camp. Okay.
Marine.
Marines. Okay. Marines were supposed to be here today. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. They have a change of command ceremony he had to go up to Richmond for, and myself and the Marine recruiter fought his boss to try and have him come here, but it didn't work out.
Enlist bonus.
A bonus. Okay. Enlistment bonus.
I know how to spell bonus. I was trying to decide if I was going to put enlistment or just enlist.
It's
Okay.
always worse when people watch you.
I know, and there's a lot of people watching.
Yeah.
Anything else?
War.
War.
Yeah.
Camaro.
Okay. Camaro.
They are.
You put car.
Car.
Yeah, you put cars.
Tank.
Oh, machine gun.
I feel like
Machine guns.
I only said that.
Now we're on Call of Duty. For
That's for me.
Are they on Call of Duty or real life? That's
What's that?
Call of Duty or real life?
Yeah. Anything else?
Or modern?
This is gonna be so much more fun if y'all interact. So just keep that in mind. Anything else? Physically fit. All right.
Okay, I think I'm sorry.
Career opportunity.
The fits.
Defense.
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 It was like the fit. I heard one more over here.
Career opportunity.
Career opportunity. Are you just saying stuff because that's what I like to talk about? No. Who's heard my presentation before? Anybody?
Oh, well, maybe
Free
800.
Free college?
Benefits.
Benefits. What kind of benefits?
Health.
Health benefits.
Just yell it out, Joseph. What you got?
Discounts.
He's got one over here.
Sometimes, yeah.
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood? Brotherhood, sisterhood? Anything else? Outstanding.
You get to live in the houses that look the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
On base housing,
Yeah, on base housing, on post housing, yeah.
or barracks if you're single. No.
Twinsies. Anything else?
MREs.
MREs. You ever had one? Anyone ever had an MRE?
I have one MRE,
This is just.
No, you have. Why did you have an MRE?
Oh,
Your grandpa.
The tortellini's the best.
Your dad? Prior military?
we inherited something from my grandpa, we
He's
didn't have
still
any.
needs them. Yeah.
I recommend not eating
Does
them.
anybody know what it stands for? You get 5 extra points.
Feel ready to eat.
Oh, good job. He gets it.
I think the last.
I'm just making this up.
Traveling?
Yeah.
Anything else? Discipline? Okay.
I don't know how to spell guys. What?
DISC. DISC.
Okay. I don't know, I'm really bad at spelling, so.
It's okay. We got auto. Or
Anything else? It's actually a really good list.
Jets.
we're not.
Jets? Okay. Jets. So believe it or not, we do actually have more aircraft than the Air Force, and we do have more watercraft than the Navy. They're not as big, but we do have more.
You know what that makes sense?
Who said Space Force? Okay. I mean, they're a real branch. They're a real branch. All right.
Yeah, you keep it daily.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank
It's
you.
very good.
Good job. Guys. If I had candy, I'd give you some. I don't have candy.
All right. So I want to go over this list and kind of give a little bit more information or kind of debunk some of the things that are on here. So leaving family. Yes, you will have to leave your family to an extent, but who here wants to go to college? Okay. Who here wants to go direct to the workforce? Okay. Anybody considering military? Okay. Who wants to go to college semi-locally or somewhere still here in Virginia or somewhere in North Carolina? Okay. How far? Who wants to go to college furthest away? Anybody?
Out of state people.
Out of state?
Where are you at? Who wants to go out of state? Nobody?
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach?
There's a college there?
Oh.
Is it really? Oh, that's before Myrtle Beach. Oh.
Okay. So no matter what you do, life in general, career opportunities, school could take you to leave your family. It could take you away, whatever it is. It's not just the military. With the military, we do get 30 days of paid vacation a year. So yes, you leave, but you can still always go home. So we also have with FaceTime, with phone calls. It's not back like it was back in the day where they had to write letters like you see in, you've seen Forrest Gump. Oh man, that makes me feel. Okay, so Forrest Gump, you see, remember how he's sitting there writing letters in the rain and the crowd while he's in Vietnam sitting with Jenny, and you know, eventually he got them all back. It's not always just like that. We do have phone calls, especially during basic training. Sundays you do get your phone calls, stuff like that. They give you your phones and you call and that's it. So you're able to visit afterwards, you finish your training, blah, blah, blah. It's like anything else, you will eventually leave your family. Unless you plan on living with mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, mima, papa, whoever it is. If you plan on living with them forever, then hey, more power to you, but good luck. Fighting for our country. Yes, mainly that is what we do, but typically that usually only happens whenever we are in some kind of war time. And right now, are we in war right now?
No.
No? Are we in any kind of conflict with anyone? Are we in somebody else's country with the possibility of fighting? Who?
What's that place with the gas?
That place with the gas.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
The one that made the gas prices so high.
That's the US.
I forgot what it's called. It's like a U or something.
Ukraine?
Yeah, that.
They didn't make the.
I don't even know. It's just that I think it's that.
Okay, so with Ukraine, we are on the border to ensure that Russia does not advance past Ukraine. We are not in the fight. We are not. We're not doing anything. We may be funding Ukraine and giving them weapons and giving them support, but we as U.S. military are not actively engaged in any kind of fighting with Russia or anything. Depression. I mean, I made the joke earlier, but that's the internet. That's a lot of people nowadays. That is any job that you get into. That is the current working wages. That is rent. That's just life. It's not just soldiers. The biggest thing with depression is the military does focus heavily on your behavior health, and we do have a lot of programs to ensure that you can get help, and it is all free and taken care of. Okay. Hard work. You want to get paid. You want to live life. You got to work hard no matter what you do, no matter where you go. Paid by the government, yes. Government shutdowns, we still get paid. We still go to work, but we still get paid. There isn't any time that we stop getting paid. Uniform, yes, we do wear uniform. But does anyone here think that this is what we wear all the time?
No.
No.
Okay, so you know that we are actually people underneath the uniform, right? I go home and I wear my Daisy Dukes and crop tops because that's what makes me comfortable, right? All right, cool. Boot camp, Marines. For Army, it's 10 weeks. For Marines, it's, I want to say 14 weeks.
13.
13? Thank you. It's pretty much the same. It's the base of what you do. It's some of the most fun that you are going to have if you were to join the military because you do so much in such a small amount of time. It is very quick, believe it or not, and it's really not all that bad. So if you're like, oh, I have to show up and they're going to make me run 6 miles on day one, not the case. That's how people get hurt. It's designed to teach you how to do things from as if you don't know anything. So it's really not all that scary. Army basic training now is more focused on team building rather than get in your face and yell like you've seen in movies and TV shows where there's a just full-on attack. It's not based on yell, 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 yell. We have identified that it is no longer a draft, and we are now in an all-volunteer force. So everybody that joins is because everybody that joins the military joins because they want to. So it's not that change of mindset of I need to fix you. It is more of the we're gonna show you what it's like to work as a team and why it works better and why you're going to fail if you try and do everything by yourself. That's what basic training is now. Enlistment bonus. Yes, there are some enlistment bonuses, especially for school or college. If you go reserves, we do have a lot of student loan repayment program, up to $50,000. And then there are some bonuses like right now for infantry, medics, some of the combat jobs. For a 6-year contract, they are offering a $50,000 bonus. Cash bonus that you don't get the whole thing up front. As soon as you finish basic training, you'll get a portion of it, and then you get paid over time because taxes. Car, I'm going to cover all this. Car, tanks, machine guns, rocket launcher, physically fit. You need to maintain physically fit appearance, but you do have a PT test or your physical test that you have to take every 6 months usually is what we do. Guns, you get to shoot. Go ahead. Who's never shot?
We're in Franklin County.
Wait,
you
we're
forgot.
country.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. Most of y'all have shot a gun anyway. The only difference is we don't have to have a license to shoot automatic weapons. But you don't get to do that as much as you think. Usually, depending on your job, again, once every 6 months. Cars, I'm gonna cover that real quick. When some people graduate basic training and their job training, and they get to their first unit and they have all this money that they saved up, and then they have a consistent paycheck, they think that I can go and get whatever car I want. So a lot of them will go and get Camaros, a lot of them will go and get Mustangs, a lot of them will go get all these dream cars that you want when you're younger, because you can think that you can afford it, not realizing some of the games that these dealers will play, where you end up paying more interest and you lose money and stuff. But once you start getting that consistent paycheck and you know you're going to continue to be paid and you can't be fired, go get yourself a car. So yes, you'll see a lot of people that have these cars that they can't afford, but that's because they're dumb. Tanks, yeah, we got them. We don't use them as much. A lot of things based around like cyber warfare nowadays. So that's. Oh, we have more. Sorry. Defense, career opportunities. Career opportunities. We have, actually before we get into that, what's something that everybody wants to do? What are your goals? What are your plans? Not just college. After you graduate, what do you want to study? What field do you want to get into? Anyone?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice. Physical therapy.
Real estate.
Real estate.
Mental health therapy.
Mental health therapy. Engineering. Anything else? Cool. That was only a few. What does everybody want to do? What's that? Digital design.
Business management.
Business management. Who has no idea what they want to do?
Be honest.
You said what?
I said, be honest.
I'm not going to knock you. This is not a way for me to target you and be like, you're going to come sit down with me. No, no. I'm just curious. Because every job that I heard, the military or the Army does offer a career opportunity for as well to give you training. That's why I bring that up. Real estate, we don't really have a job for that, but we do have digital design. We don't have that job exactly, but we do have jobs that could translate or help you. Real estate, sales. I'm a recruiter. I have to sell a lifestyle for you. I have to sell you, not necessarily a dream, but I have to sell you on the opportunities that we do have. Not by lying, but I have to be able to show you that there are other options rather than just graduate high school, go to college, be in debt, and then go find a job somewhere in that field that you wanted to study. It's a skill, it takes time, but as long as you have an idea of how you want to achieve your goal, that's all I can ask for. As a recruiter, we don't get extra money for making you or for having you enlist. We're not in the kidnapping business. This is volunteer. If there are no extra incentives for me to get you to sign a contract to take care of yourself. Okay, so sitting here and lying through my teeth to get you to try and join doesn't do anything for me. If I can help you at least realize what your goal is and how you want to achieve it, that's all I can ask for. All right. Brotherhood, the matching houses, yeah, they're built on a contract, so they make everything similar, so you can get as many houses as they can in an area. MREs, for those of you that haven't had them, they're not great. If you have to live on them, they're even worse. But if you don't know what they are, little brown bag about this big with a bunch of food in it, and it's got about 1,500 calories per box. It's supposed to be your daily intake. There's for survival rations. Traveling. As I said before, I grew up in California. I lived in Texas, Germany, Hawaii, Louisiana, now in Virginia. When I was in Germany, I visited Ireland, Czech, Belgium, Austria, just because it was my off time and I wanted to. So you're able to, and all open borders, so it was easy to just drive. Discipline. I mean, you learn discipline, you learn, it's one of the job requirement things that you're gonna learn in any other job, where some you're gonna become really good at typing because that's what you have to do, you work on a computer all day. Discipline's one of those things that you end up learning. All right. So, very good. Any questions on that? Cool. So, those of you that want to go to college, have you already applied? Yes. Already accepted? Who has applied but has not been accepted yet? You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay. Who's going to be taking out student loans to go to college? Who's going? Okay. Who's going on scholarship? Full ride scholarship? Partial scholarship? Okay. And then who's going straight into the workforce? I know there's a couple. Do you know what you're doing yet?
I kind of looked at like even teacher's aid stuff.
Teacher's aid stuff? Okay. Anything else? I know there's a couple for straight into the workforce. Somewhere in the back?
Road construction.
Road construction? Okay. Good money in that.
So like, I'm not doing no kind of college. I'm just like paying for my real estate classes, so I don't have to be in debt like you said. You just pay for it straight out and then get the job after I get the license, work for a company, and then eventually build up my clientele and stuff while I work for the company. Then after that, go on my own eventually, like after a few years. So yeah, I'm not going to college, so I don't have to pay all that stuff. I just pay for it straight out of pocket, and then if I fail, I pay for it again.
Okay. And how, do you have a job right now?
No, I quit my job.
Okay. And how, if you don't mind me asking, how do you plan on paying, like how much is it?
It's $500, like per class setting. And so if I fail that first like go around of the classes, it's another 500. But I mean, it's just 500. Oh.
It's just 500, but if you don't have a job and you're not making any money,
I mean,
that
like,
just 500 turns into like $100.
I mean, we got it. It's fine. Like not being funny or nothing, but like it's just $500.
It's, yeah.
You know, and I don't know, like I have a little bit of money. I mean, I did work. I have a savings account. Like I'm not completely like just broke. So like I can pay for it, but I plan to pass it the first time so I don't have to pay for it again.
I mean, yeah. Nobody really plans to fail a class, but
Yeah, like-
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. What time does this class end? Or how long? It ends at 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 10 something. Right?
It's just
Monies? No, nothing. All right. Monies is a word today. I'm going to do this. Let's look at.
Like this jacket. So it's like,
Okay. Typically in this area, how many of y'all pay rent right now? Pay full rent? Okay, good for you. How many of you pay your own car insurance? How many of you pay for your own phone bill? Your full phone bill or you pay a portion? Full? Same? Okay. How many of you pay for your own food all day, every day for a month? Or every month? Okay. How many of you pay for your own health insurance? Okay. How many of you have no idea what health insurance is and it's not something you're worried about? Because that was me.
huh? What is it?
I said, how many of you don't know what health insurance is or don't worry about it because you never had to?
I mean, like, I know what it is. Like, I'm educated on it. I just don't pay for it. I'm just a kid. I'm
Okay. All right, so a typical month, and I want your input, a typical month for bills, does this cover a majority of your bills, would you say? Is there anything I'm missing? Rent, car insurance, phone bill, food, health insurance, car payment?
Yeah. That will be included with the insurance. Wi-Fi. I just put that all together.
We'll say no car, because there is public transportation that is available, whether it's good or not.
Why are you paying for the insurance?
What's that?
If you don't got no car, why are you paying for insurance?
That's a fair point. That means that would be something that you can take off,
Our
but
car breaks down, but you still have to pay for that insurance.
But you don't have a car.
But you still have to pay for it.
do you have okay, who's got a car right now? Okay. How many of you are paying your car payment? Okay. Was it a brand new car? Okay, so you got something used. Was it a hand-me-down? Or was it, we found it on Facebook Marketplace or something? Outstanding. It's not Craigslist anymore. Okay. Okay, we could throw, yeah, we could throw car. I'm gonna leave that off. What else? There's a reason for it. I'm gonna leave that off. What else? No Wi-Fi, no Netflix, no Hulu, no none of
I would
that.
say internet.
What about like,
Internet or cable. Electricity.
I'm gonna leave that off.
Electricity, water.
We can keep that in the rent. Anything else? Okay. Generally, what is rent looking like for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, or I don't know if you can find a house, but in this area, or where you want to live, ideally, what is your typical like rent?
it's going from around this area, like, it's going from like 850 to like 1,500. Like, a month, for like 200 bed in here. Like, this is an expensive area. Unless you get like a trailer for like 700, and that's still like pretty good, especially for.
No, at the trailer park I used to live in, rent is like literally $800 a month for the trailer.
Yes.
For is it like septic and power and all that crap?
Yeah.
Okay,
Say 1,000.
1,000? We can be in the middle. Okay, let's go for 1,000.
Not including other stuff that go with the house.
Now, because we were going to include is that including utilities?
No, that's definitely not. It's hot.
You want to go around 12?
It's like 1,500.
Let's go 12. Let's go 1,200. That's your rent and utility. We'll keep it. All right, for those of you that pay your full car insurance, not pay a portion of it, for those of you that pay your full car insurance, what do you pay?
200.
300, 200,
400.
400? Got 2, 3, and 400. God damn.
But are you still on your parents' insurance that you're paying for? Or is it your own policy?
If you pay a portion of it, what's the total for you?
About 200, 150.
150 to 200? So I've heard 150 to 400. Where do you want to meet in the middle?
I'd say 200.
200? Okay.
That's like 150. Because you have an Apple Watch, an iPad.
All right, phone bill. Who pays their full phone bill or knows what your portion of the phone bill is?
100.
100? 80 a month? 50 a month?
It'll be like
100 a month? Okay, I got 50s, 80s, and 100.
How about 80?
Middle at 80? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Food. Here's my favorite. How much do you think it is a month for just you for food?
like $500. What?
Damn. All right. Good for you.
I stop at Starbucks.
out to eat. This is whether you're going out to eat, this is going out to restaurants, this is going out to McDonald's every time, whatever it is. All of that for your food a month, roughly.
Think about it.
500.
If you eat once a day at like an $8 or $9 meal, that's still almost $300 once a day.
Yeah.
So think about it, it's way more than
You sit around 1,000? Bro, you play sports? Hey, I was your age once and I never stopped eating, so I get it, alright? I get it. Yeah, and it's expensive. It adds up. $300-400. Is that fair? 3 or 4, so we're gonna say $400. All right, here's the one that I know stumps. Health insurance, health care. Okay. From what I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had an ROTC instructor that was over at Magna Vista High School 2 years ago. She's never been in the military. She was never in the military. She did work law enforcement. What she told us is in Henry County, she was paying $600 a month just for her.
It's more than
It's more than that.
Ours is like $1,100 if we use the schools. But most self-employed people, it's at least $700-800. So I would do an average $800.
$800. Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, you could go and not have your health insurance. If something happens, guess who's paying all those hospital bills? Guess who pays for the ambulance ride? Guess who pays for all the medications? You. Comes out of your pocket. It's just $500 adds up real quick.
And with health insurance, there's still deductibles.
Yeah,
The first few could be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 to $5,000 upfront, out of pocket before insurance kicks in.
Everybody hear that? So there are deductibles. So even though you're paying this $800, what was it, $800 a month, if something happens for your insurance to cover it, you still have to pay the $2,000 or $3,000 deductible for your insurance to cover the rest. Out of pocket. Same with car insurance. If you have a $500 deductible or you have a $1,000 deductible, if something happens for your insurance to cover it, you have to pay that $500 or that $1,000 deductible up front before your insurance covers it. So that adds up. Car payments.
I say average 500.
250. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It depends on where you live,
It does.
and how your credit score is, if you have a credit score.
Okay.
My car payment is $275.
205.
They say 5, that's 4 or 5.
Yeah. Mine is $434 a month.
What are y'all doing?
I mean, that's a newer car.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the number that y'all give me because damn.
You just need a new car.
That's almost twice what I was paying. I bought brand new. I bought a brand new Chevy, 2019 Chevy Colorado in 2019. I bought it brand new with 14 miles on it.
Oh, that was before COVID.
But the payments never changed.
Inflation.
The interest, I would have had to continue paying longer. I paid my truck off. But I would have paid more because of interest because of inflation. But because I paid it off sooner. All right, give me your car payment number.
I guess let's
Audience.
Let's go
Average 350.
350. All right. All right. Let's talk about what you're getting paid with your job.
$12.
$12 an hour.
I'm getting 15.
$15 an hour. $13.90 an hour.
I don't work with
When I was working at
13. For everything from 12 to 15. 13.50.
Minimum 12 something, they said. So, whatever.
It's like $3,000.
No, it is 12, right?
Yeah, let's do 13, let's do that, yeah.
We do 13.
That's giving me one better. 70,000.
All right, who's got their phone?
No, I got it.
Oh, all right, well, let's do this together. There's a calculator on here.
What we doing?
Well, I mean, I got it, don't do that, here, I'll do it. It'll take too long.
13 an hour for a month.
What, 40 hours?
Yep, 40 hour, 13 an hour for 40 hours, 5 days a week.
2,080.
2,080.
That's it.
Dollars a month?
That's the work for pipeline, you make that in a week.
For the what?
Pipeline, I'm kidding. No, I'm sometimes doing that.
All right, so $13 an hour is giving you about 2,080 a month. Let's subtract rent, which is 1,200.
880.
Subtract car insurance, which is 200.
680.
Subtract your phone bill, 80. 400 for food. Health insurance, which is 800.
You're at negative 600 probably. Yeah, you're at negative 600.
And your car payment for 350.
Negative 950.
All right, you owe $950 with a $13 an hour job. This does not cover Wi-Fi. This does not cover any extra go out and have fun. This does not cover,
Where's your power? How are you gonna do anything? You're on electric.
we included that with rent. We're generous. We're generous. This doesn't include your Netflix, your Hulu, this doesn't include gas. This doesn't, we're assuming that taxes were already taken out.
Doesn't include car maintenance.
It doesn't include car maintenance. So all of these things, and we'll say you're going to college or you're already in the workforce. Anybody going to community college first? Okay. Is the point of community college so that you can save up, so that you can go to a university or anything? Yes? No? No? Okay. That's what I hear a lot, at least in the Henry County area, is I want to go to Patrick and Henry Community College so I can save up. You owe money, you ain't saving up nothing. Working at Taco Bell and McDonald's and whatever it is. So this is what I want to do. So we're what, negative 950? All right, we don't make money on an hour or per hour. But what we do is a month, and remember, this is so I can show you the opportunities and what the military does offer. All right, a month, starting off, you're making a little over $2,000 a month, about $2,100 a month. But that's just your base pay. That doesn't include the extra money that you get, which we'll dive into in just a second. Your rent is 0. You do not have to pay rent. And it's like, okay, you're staying in barracks. Once you if you choose to, get married, have a kid or kids, or hit a certain rank, you move out of the barracks and you get extra money to live in a house. On top of my paycheck, every month or every 2 weeks, well, for the month, I get $1,300 just for housing. It's my basic allowance for housing. That goes on top of my paycheck. So that's extra money that I get just to cover my mortgage or rent if I were renting. All right. Car insurance. Because of our driving classes, because of our safety classes, because of being in the military, who mentioned discounts earlier? You mentioned discount? We do get a discount because of that.
Oh,
I pay $80 a month for my insurance, full coverage.
What do you drive?
2019 Chevy Colorado.
Oh,
Oh, and something I didn't cover. Who here is a male under 25 years old?
oh, what?
Male under 25.
All of them.
Congratulations, you are already considered a high risk. For insurance, your insurance is going to be higher.
yay.
So, keep that in mind. Phone bill.
So I used to get discount on that page.
$80. For me, I'm with AT&T. I have FirstNet because I'm military / I used to be military police, so I was law enforcement as well. I have what's called FirstNet, and it's for first responders. I pay $45 a month.
What phone you got?
I got an iPhone. Third.
That's like a,
That's good.
That is unlimited everything. Unlimited data, text, phone call, whatever. Unlimited, and I have priority service no matter where I go because of being a first responder. What's that?
they keep asking you what you have. I'm wondering if they gonna ask what food you eat. What to get
No,
your food.
I was just asking because like that's good, $45 for an iPhone 13. I mean, it,
Food. I wouldn't necessarily say $0, but on top of the extra money I get for rent, I get an extra $475, $480 for food a month. My basic allowance for sustenance. That goes on top of my pay, so I get extra money for food. Health insurance,
zero. I mean,
car payment. It depends on what you get, it depends on what you drive, but before I paid my truck off, my payment was brand new for a 6-year. I was paying, it was $38,000 truck. I was paying I think it was like $360 a month. But I was making double payments,
yeah.
which is why I paid it off in 5 years. Ms. Deems,
Yes, sir.
calculator, please.
Sir, yep. What do I do with it? Hold on. I lost it. It was in my pocket. Got it.
2,100
Living life for
Okay.
real.
minus 80 for car insurance,
Got it.
minus 45 for the phone bill,
Got it.
minus 360 for the car payment.
Got it.
Total
16.15.
16.15. Now I can get my Hulu, my Netflix, my Funimation, my Crunchyroll, my YouTube Premium, my Wi-Fi, and not be living on ramen noodles like most college students will do. But they're good. I don't care. You can't live on that crap. It sucks, and it's high in sodium, and it's bad for you.
It really is.
It's really good because you don't have to live on it. When you got to eat that for 3 meals a day for months, it's not good, I promise.
I still do that.
I can't even eat one bowl. I can't never finish it. It just gets old after it tastes it.
Now live on it, because that's all you can afford when you owe $950 a month. It's just 500. Yeah, that adds up real quick. All right. The reason I show you this and I bring this up is because I want you to see. Obviously, it's not the only way. I covered that from the very beginning. The military is not the only way to make sure that all your bills are taken care of. Not everybody's going to join. But this is a good opportunity. I don't worry about bills. I don't look at price tags. I don't worry about that crap. If I want something, I buy it. I don't have to save up, I don't have to do any of that crap, because the military covers a lot of things. I wouldn't have stayed in as long as I have if it hasn't been good to me. Do you have to stay in for 20 years if you decide that this is something that you want to do? Absolutely not. The minimum you can do active duty is 3 years. That's all you have to do. You get free college from that. You get $4,000 a year in tuition assistance. You get student loan repayment program, up to $50,000 if not more. Meaning, if you use more than $4,000 a year, you can take on student debt and the military pays that back for you. So technically you get more, after already covering your tuition. So you want to go to an out-of-state school, you still pay nothing. Who knows the difference between Army and Army Reserve?
The reserve isn't like on active duty.
Okay. So active duty is your full-time job, right? That's your 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, typically. It's your, you have your weekends off. We're the first to the fight if something were to happen, right? If we go to war, depending on your job. Reserve are for those that want to go to school and focus primarily on school. So what you would do with reserve is you go to basic training, then you go to your job training, and then you come back, and then you go to your school. So we'll say you were to sign up tomorrow. You were to sign up tomorrow. You would go to training this summer. You would do your job training in the fall, late summer into fall, and then you would start your first semester January next year of college. And that's what you do. All you do from that point is you do your training 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks into summer. That's it. You get paid $450 to $500 for that month that you do work. So that covers your food, so no ramen. And then you have your discount to health insurance. These numbers that we're covering on this side here, that is mainly for active duty. Those are the active duty numbers. You are not going to be making as much when you're not on active duty status. So when you're outside of training, you don't make this. But you still get your instead of paying the $600 for your health insurance, you're paying like $100 a month, if that. It'd be like 80 to $100 a month for your health insurance, because it's discounted. Any questions on that? Any questions in general?
Is there an age limit that you can join?
The age limit that you can join is 42. The earliest you can join is 17, going from the summer of your junior year going into your senior year of high school. Here's the kicker. Everyone's a senior here, right? Okay. If you decide, you know what, this is what I want to do, I want to go join the military, that does not mean that you can just drop out of school because like, screw it, I'm joining the military. You still have to graduate. The Army specifically pushes education, meaning once you get to certain ranks, like at my rank, if I want to promote, I have to have a degree. So we're not just dum-dums because we couldn't make it in the real world that decided to join the military. I hated school. Part of the reason why I wanted to join was because I didn't want to go to school anymore. I joined, and 5 years later, now they're pushing, go to college, go to college, go to college. So now I have to go to school. If I want to get paid more, I want to promote, I have to go to school. So we're not a bunch of morons just running around uneducated. A lot of people, especially at higher ranks, do have degrees. If you want to go officer and go the commission route, you have to have a degree. At least a bachelor's, not an associate. It has to be a bachelor's at least. And it does not matter what you have a degree in, as long as you have a degree. You can have a degree in medicine and then go work law enforcement. Doesn't matter, as long as you have a degree. Any other questions? Cool. What I'm going to do is on each side, I'm going to pass around a sign-in roster. The sign-in roster, I at least need names. The phone number is optional. You do not have to give me your phone number, okay? But I have to do this because my job as a recruiter is to make sure that I am in my high schools. I have 5 high schools, and then I also have Fairham College that I cover. So, I'm sorry? I cover Magna Vista, Martinsville, Bassett, Patrick County, and Franklin County.
How was it, Patrick County?
You went to Patrick County? That's a big school. I never make it out there.
Patrick County?
Patrick County High School?
That is not big.
Look, I get lost in there all the time.
Okay, the hallways are very confusing.
That's what I'm saying. And it's 3 levels.
Yeah.
That's big. It's confusing. I actually get lost in
But they're
there.
nice people.
Yeah. So I at least need names because my job is to make sure that I'm making contact with all my seniors and talking to my seniors. Just to say that I talked to you and gave you the information. If you want to give me your phone number, that would be great. And on the far right, there is a request for more information, yes or no. If you would like to follow up and sit down outside of the classroom environment and ask questions, whatever it is, go ahead and circle yes, and I'll follow up with you, and we can set a time that works. This does not mean that you want to join. This just is saying that you want more information, okay? So don't think that if I follow up with you that means you want to join. I do not take it that way. Let me see if I can get.
All right, so all of y'all have questions. that you
Yeah,
have
so
to
while this is being passed around, here, I'll pass this in.
We got Q&A?
Q&A. Do you have another? Okay, now is the time, this can be one of my favorite parts. This is where I open the floor to you. Ask about anything.
Mr. Meany, do you have the checklist to make sure they're checked? Who's going first? Y'all can go, you can go.
Ask about anything.
You all are supposed to ask it.
I am an open book, fire away, whether it's about the military, whether it's personal, whether, I don't care.
Are you married?
Technically, yes. I'm going through a divorce right now. Yeah.
I
Don't look. Do not feel bad, all right?
You said personal. I'm wondering how that works.
So,
Using it to write. Oh, is it on?
if you're curious about it, yes, you can get married, no big deal.
Okay.
Long story short, when I was in Germany in 2014 and 2016, started dating a girl that I met that she was also military. We dated for a couple years. I left Germany. We broke up. 6 years later, 7 years later, I came to Virginia, found out she was in Virginia. We ended up reconnecting. We dated. We got married. 6 months later, she was like, I'm not feeling it. And she was like, I want a divorce. So it happens. She ain't my person. No big deal.
It's okay.
So it is what it is.
Fun fact, if you're married to a soldier, you both get housing allowance. Like when I was in the Army, married to my husband who's a soldier, we both got whatever the housing was, like 1,800 each. So
Yeah, you actually get more money when you are married or have
benefits from marriage?
yes, but not in that capacity. We get pretty good benefits.
Is the health insurance good? Is it like, or, you know how like there's some health insurance that's like,
It's not
So
even,
let me break it down like this. If I go to the hospital because I stubbed my toe, or I go to the hospital because I broke every bone in my body, I still pay $0. I'm still taken care of. I'm still getting medication.
okay.
here's a good example, $4,500 the other day for my husband to go to the ER, $0 to go to the ER in the post, or military hospital.
And if it's an emergency and you're not near a military installation, like for me, since we're not near a military installation, if I were to go to the hospital, I still pay $0.
So does it also apply if like when you get out of the military?
If you
Obviously, it
retire.
wouldn't be-
You retire. You have to retire out to get those lifelong benefits, which is 20 years. I'm not gonna do the typical recruiter lie. I'm gonna be straight up with you. You have to do 20 years to get full benefits. However, comma, dramatic pause, while you're serving, you do get full benefits.
Okay.
And if you want a family, you can go.
As long as you currently are serving, yes.
But think about it, if you go in at 18, 20 years from now, you'll be 38 and you can retire.
Yes.
You won't even be 40 and to have a retirement.
If you join at 18 years old and you decide you want to go the distance and go 20 years, I had no intention of doing 20 years, by the way.
Are you now?
I am now. Because, let me finish my point. 20 years after you join at 18, you retire at 38 and get full benefits for the rest of your life. You continue getting a paycheck for the rest of your life between disability and retirement. Depending on where you live, it could be enough where you don't have to work any longer. A friend of mine who lives in Missouri retired out of in Missouri, and he doesn't have to work another day in his life, but he's getting bored, and he's 40 years old, and he's retired, doesn't have to work,
Tell them to start.
making $6,500 a month. He retired as a staff sergeant, which is one rank less than I am, and he doesn't have to work. I know, I worked hard for this.
When did you start? What age?
I joined at 20.
And I'm not gonna ask your age, but like, it's been 20 years, so. Like, how-
It has not been 20 years.
It's not?
I joined at 20, it's been 12 years.
Okay, so it's 30. You
So
got
I'm 32, I turned 33 in April.
So you got 8 more years.
I got 7.
7 more years.
6 months before that, I can actually start my leave, and so I basically stopped working 6 months before that. So I've got 6.5 to 7 more years.
Do you have to leave when it's 20?
No, you do not have to leave once you hit 20 years. For me, I want to go be selfish and do my own thing.
For example, you can retire, get that retirement, and then work another federal job and get another.
Yes.
Are you listening? You asked questions. He can retire, work another federal job, and get another retirement. So 2 retirements when he really retires.
Yes.
So like at 65, when like the normal age retire, you gonna be getting 2 retirements?
Yep.
You're gonna be rich. Just go get another job.
I plan on it.
Okay.
So,
What do you want to do when you get?
I actually want to go get my realtor license
Really?
because sales. And since I won't be dependent on the commission to make sure that I can live and eat and all of that, I can go sell whenever I feel like it and just kind of build my own thing.
Well, if you stay in Virginia, I might see you somewhere.
Probably not, but I might be in North Carolina, so give me a call. The earlier question, no, I did not plan on doing 20 years. I joined because, like I said, I didn't want to go to school. It's not for me. I hate school. I'm not good at it. Every time I planned on getting out, a new opportunity presented itself. What I mean by that is, when I got back from Afghanistan, a few months later, went through a breakup, and I was like, I need to leave Texas. I need to get out of here. I emailed who I needed to and said, hey, I just got back from Afghanistan. I'm looking at going, I'll go anywhere. Send me anywhere except South Korea. I don't want to go there. But she goes, okay, well, we have Korea, but we also have Germany and Hawaii available. I said, okay, well, I want to go to Germany. I can go to Hawaii anytime. I want to live in Germany. So I got sent to Germany. At the end of my 2 years in Germany, I said, I'm getting out unless you give me Hawaii. I will go to Hawaii and re-enlist for another 4 years. They said, okay. Can't help you. I said, okay, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of the Army then. The next day I got a phone call and he said, hey man, Hawaii's available for you. Oh, weird how that happened. Cool. I had him put in the paperwork, contract, Hawaii, and I got a $10,000 bonus for re-enlisting, and I got to go to Hawaii. So then I lived in Hawaii for 3 years. And then when I was in Hawaii, after living in Germany, I said, I'm getting out. unless I can go be a recruiter. They said, cool, we can get you a recruiter, you just have to re-enlist. I said, okay, no problem. Went in, applied, the recruiting said, yes, we want you. And then my branch said, hey, congratulations on getting accepted to being a recruiter. You're gonna go to Louisiana and not be a recruiter. I was like, but I already re-enlisted, like I wanna go be a recruiter. They said, well, that's too bad, you need to go be a squad leader. So I went to Louisiana and I did my time as a squad leader. It was actually very beneficial. I'm thankful for it. I hate Louisiana, but I am very thankful for it. It's hot, it's awful. I'm thankful for it because it taught me a lot of skills as a leader and developed me. So I know how to be a good leader because of my experience there. And a year after being there, they said, hey, you're gonna go be a recruiter. I said, well, I wanna go be a pilot. They said, you're gonna go be a recruiter. So now I started recruiting, and that brought me here to Virginia. Because even though I'm from California, my family left and moved to North Carolina. And I was like, well, I've never been within driving distance of my family. I'd like to be close for once. And everything just worked out. I live 2 hours away from my family now. They live down just north of Charlotte in North Carolina. And when I said I want to be as close to North Carolina as possible, they said, well, you're going to Martinsville. I said, I can't wait. It's civilization compared to Louisiana. And then I got there. It turns out it's exactly the same. Totally not bonita.
There's more meth here, so.
It's cold.
There's more meth everywhere. Everywhere's the new meth capital of the world. So by the end of my recruiting, which was a very long one to say, by the end of my recruiting, it would put me at 13 and a half years of being in. It would be stupid for me to get out with 7 years left to get a retirement. So I'm in last year in February, I signed my contract that says I am in until May of 2031, which puts me at 20 years for retirement. I have promoted since then. I have reclassed so that I changed my job from military police to a permanent recruiter so that I can teach other recruiters how to be a recruiter. And so I continue doing this because I like being able to help everyone. That's the perk of this job is I get to help you, whether you join or not, I get to help you at least try and realize your goals and how to achieve your goals. And that's satisfying to me. So that is why I'm doing 20 years.
Got one more question. So you don't have to like train or nothing anymore. You just wake up normally and come to school and just do
Yep.
that all day.
Yep. My job is to talk.
Okay.
And I talk about the Army, and I don't have to force anything because the Army has been good to me. It can be good for you, but everyone has their own perspective of how the military is. With media, with whoever's in office, with whatever the case may be, with what you see on TikTok, I know how it really is, and I can share that information. You just have to be willing to hear what I have to say. Because whether or not you join, as long as you can make a well-informed decision on if this is what you want to do or not, that's all I can ask for. Know that you have the option.
You still have to do a PC test and qualify, right? For
Yep.
Weapon?
6 months. Weapon, no. I don't have to go and shoot. I do if I want to keep my concealed carry license. But
PT.
PT, yeah, 6 months.
So in other words, he has to stay in shape or he can get in trouble.
Besides, nobody wants to talk to me until I'm a big
Fluffy.
Peter Griffin.
What do your pilots programs look like?
Pilots programs? You're looking at being Rotary, you want to go fly helicopters, you go into the Warrant Officer program. You have to get a interview, you have to get, you have to do a certain amount of tests, you have to have a certain score on your ASVAB to be able to go into the pilot program, because that's what I was going to do. Minimum of 10 years, but you also have to be accepted to it. Every warrant officer loves being a warrant officer because your sole job is to fly. That's it. You're a pilot. You don't play the Army crap, you don't do the politics, you go and fly. Once you're in warrant officer school, you do get to choose which one you want to go to. Everyone competes to go be an Apache pilot, like the attack helicopters. But we've got the attack helicopters, we've got our utility helicopters, we've got our cargo helicopters, Blackhawks, and Chinooks, which is the double rotor cargo. Those ones typically are what most people start flying. We also have 17th SOAR, I think it is.
160th.
160th SOAR. This is a special operations recruiting, or special operations aviation unit, where they go and they fly the little birds. They fly special forces. They fly Navy SEALs. They fly all the special guys.
Special operations.
All the special. Yeah, that's SOAR.
Sneak
But-
in your house and put a recruit tablet on your head.
They, you know what, they have methods. But that's typically what you do is you fly. So it is longer of a process. The easiest way to get in to the warrant officer program is enlisting first, because you get a feel for how the Army is. You start to meet people so you can get your letters of recommendation and understand how it works, and then go fly. You don't have to have a degree to fly. You just have to have a good ASVAB score.
What are the places you've been besides,
What do you mean?
like in the Army? Like you said you went to Afghanistan. Did you go anywhere else besides Germany and the Army?
Well, when I was in Germany, I drove around. I went to the Czech Republic. I went to Belgium. I went to Austria. I went night sledding in Austria. I got hammered. It was so funny. It's what you do in Europe. You drink. I visited Ireland and got to go to the Guinness factory in Dublin, which was awesome. I went everywhere you can think of in Germany. Like I went to Berlin and went to the Berlin Zoo, which apparently has like the largest variety of animals in the world. I got bit by a penguin. It was a joke. Not very many people can say that. I got bit by a penguin because I wanted to pet him, and he bit my finger. I was very excited.
I have a question about appearance.
Okay.
For females,
Yes.
can you wear perfume, like eyelashes? Can you like put mascara on? Can you wear lip gloss?
You can have so there are rules and regulations. You are able to wear makeup. You can't overdo it. You can't have those big eyelashes.
No spider lip.
Yeah, I know my different.
No, but you can be a female, like dress like a female, you just
You
can't be
can
over the top.
Are you
Yeah,
allowed to
you-
have tattoos? You want tattoos?
Yesterday on the email, it said you have to be.
Wait, what kind of tattoo?
Nothing on the hands, neck, or face is the general rule. You can't actually have one on your hand. You can't have one behind your ear, but they have to be a certain length. Nothing on the face.
I do it.
2 years. I got here in end of November of 2021.
Wait, so do you live in Martinsville?
I live closer to Bassett.
My dad was a
just
staff
stop.
sergeant.
He what?
Staff sergeant at Martinsville,
Who's your dad?
Justin. And Jacob Bentley, I don't know if you know him.
They lived in a lake.
Huh?
They lived in a lake.
Who's living in the lake?
Did you say lake?
No, I don't live like that's. I live on the opposite side of Bassett, like away from all that. I live in between, like Fieldale and horse pasture. I live in the Cubs.
He had a question over here, sorry.
Did you learn other languages while overseas?
Not on purpose. I knew so when I was in Afghanistan, the area that we were in, they spoke Pashto. I knew a couple words. It basically commands: stop, move, get away from me.
Do you remember them?
No, I don't.
Quit being weird.
I remember when you greet someone, you say salam alaikum, and then when they greet you, you say alaikum assalam or salam, hand over the heart, stuff like that. When I was in Germany, I did start trying to learn German. I remember basically I learned to order. I knew enough to at least say, hey, my German's not very good. Do you speak English? And usually they laugh at you and then say, yes, I speak a little bit, and then they speak perfectly good English. And then I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, and I remember 0 things, other than bonita.
Next time,
Have you seen any new technology to see in the robotics field?
I seen, but stuff that's like being developed. I have not seen anything personally, but we do have, our military intelligence. We have our We have our engineers that work on that kind of stuff, the research and development teams, like that's gonna be all top secret stuff. That's above me, I don't get to see it, but we do have those programs, yes.
If you like to move, can you have your pet with me?
Can you what?
Pets.
Absolutely. I've got my dog in Louisiana, and I love her, even though she's a big fat fatty. And she goes with me everywhere, and I ended up getting my brother's cat, who's a wild cat. He's dope. His name is Catfish, and he's also the homie now. So they come with me wherever I go. Also, wherever I move and whenever I move, since I'm forced to move every 2 to 3 years, the Army moves everything for me. I don't lift a finger. They pack all of my boxes, they load all of my boxes and all of my stuff onto a truck, and then they ship it for me, and I pay nothing.
Are you
Where-
going to have facial piercings?
No.
Okay, so here's the thing, I'm gonna be real with you. Are you supposed to? No. Can you? Yes. Several of my friends have had the piercing.
Flip it in.
Turn it in. Hide it. You can hide it, you can wear it. If you get caught with it, you're going to get in trouble. But, you know, it's only illegal if you get caught. So.
But going back to moving.
That's rule for life,
She can't
yeah.
take, she can't take a pet if she's in the barracks. Like if you're staying on in the barracks, you cannot have a pet, like a goldfish.
Yes. Yes. If you live in the barracks, for pets. If you live in the barracks, you cannot have pets other than like a fish, like a goldfish. You can't have a full-on, like, full wall aquarium, no. And barracks are like dorm rooms. It is, you have a room, your roommate has a room, and you share a common area, usually a kitchen and a bathroom. It's not a large room like this where you sleep with 18 other people. You get your own personal space.
What's the standard issue rifle you do?
M4. Usually get the M4A
Just
3s. It's switch between semi-automatic and automatic. We don't do 3-round bursts anymore.
Just out of curiosity, was the Army, like when you decided you want to go in the military, was that your first choice? 'Cause I know
Nope.
a lot of people will be like, I want to go in the Army and then switch to the Navy.
Army was my last choice.
what do you want to do?
Originally, I wanted to go to the Coast Guard. Back when they were the military, because I saw, what was that movie, The Guardian, with Ashton Kutcher, and he's a rescue swimmer. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to go be a rescue swimmer. Then I told Coast Guard that I didn't want to go reserve. I wanted to go active duty, and he stopped trying to help me out. He basically didn't care about me. Then I went and talked to the Navy. When I talked to the Navy, they were really cool. They're the ones that I actually went to MEPS, Military Entrance Processing Station, where I did all my medical. Like, I did everything with the Navy. And then when I got to the end, they go, yeah, we don't have any jobs available for you, we'll call you. And I was like, okay, well, this was a waste of time. Every couple of weeks, my Navy recruiter would call me and be like, hey man, we've got nuclear physicist, something scientist that you can work. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And he said, okay, well, you can go be a medic. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. What I was looking for is I wanted to actually somewhat get into the fight without being in combat, if that makes sense. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go talk to the Marines. I went to the Marine Corps. Marines have their pride, their tradition, if you've met the Marines, or if you met a Marine, you know what I'm talking about. They were very Marine, right? So I got in, and at the time, I had just this tattoo right here, that's it. And their policy was no wrist or neck tattoos. Basically, if you cover it with 4 fingers, it's considered a wrist. They were like, no problem, we'll just get a waiver sent out. For 6 months, I waited for this waiver to come back. I followed up with my recruiter every 2 weeks or so, and was like, hey, what's going on? He said, yep, still waiting, haven't heard anything back. At the end of 6 months, he said, hey, I need you to come in. We're gonna take a picture and send up your waiver again. I said, what do you mean? We've already sent that up. He said, yeah, man, I dropped the ball, and this is on me. I said, cool, have a nice day. Go do things to yourself that's not appropriate to say in school. So my buddy was like, come talk to the Army recruiter. I went in and talked to the Army recruiter, who I'm still friends with this day. And he's like, he took care of me. He told me what I needed to know. He showed up at 7 o'clock at night with his boss to talk to my parents, to say, hey, because they didn't want me to join the Army either. And sat it down and said, this is what it's really like, because they were still under the impression how it was in like the 90s of it's go to war or go to jail. It's nothing but criminals in the Army. That's not the case anymore. So once their eyes were open to how the Army actually is, then they were like, all right, we're for it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and talk to the Air Force recruiter just to see what she has to say. I walked in and I said, hey, what's the deal? This is what I've got. And she said, yep, you picked 10 jobs. Maybe we'll give you one of those jobs and you don't leave for at least 6 months. I said, cool, thanks, have a nice day. Went right back over. And a week later, I raised my hand and swore into the Army. So no, the Army was not my first choice. It was pretty much my last choice, but the Army took care of me. And because of what my recruiters did, I try and do the same thing. I know we're short on time.
Wait, is it true that the others, you don't get to pick your job like you do in the Army?
So with the Army is the only branch that you get to pick your job specifically for what you want to do. As far as I know, with the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Navy, you pick a field of what you want to do, and then you'll get a job in that field. Any other questions?
What is your degree?
I am an E7, Sergeant First Class. 2 from the top, enlisted. Anything else?
What do the post 9/11 benefits look like?
Post 9/11 benefits, that's going to be your GI Bill, the post 9/11 GI Bill. That's 36 months of free college, room and board, tuition, and I don't remember what the other one is, but your school is paid for.
Plus, because you're in Virginia, there's a Virginia program, you can get a stipend on top of that. So you get extra.
Where are my sign-in rosters? Still being signed? And everyone sign in on them?
Thank you.
Gotta make sure. Okay.
Thank you. I think this is.
I appreciate your time.
That's my thing.
So,
They don't, they were engaged, they don't.
I got it. Well, would my wife
Hey
say
guys, listen, they're still asking
the
questions,
same
please, friends are not switched
Yes.
out. Okay.
So, thank you. Once you add your spouse onto, into DEERS, into the program, they come with you, they live with you, they get health benefits as well. Your children, once you have children, if you have children, they get full benefits as well while you're serving. If you go the distance and you retire, they get benefits as well for life.
Also, if you don't use your college
Just gonna say
tuition.
that. Yep. And if you don't use your college tuition, you can transfer it to your spouse, to your children, so that they can have free college. Anything else?
Do you recommend kids?
For what?
Like when you're doing what you do you recommend having?
Like being in the military?
Yeah.
Depends. You look at kids as a paycheck or not? Because paycheck, yeah, you get more money for having kids.
Please don't do that.
But-
I love it.
Okay, if you want to have kids, because your family goes with you no matter where you go.
But like,
Not if you're dual military,
mentally,
you know.
like mentally,